Hey guys, time for another romance novel review. I know you're excited. Well, at least I hope you are. Or why are you watching this video? Anyway, today we are going to be talking about a new standalone romance from Helena Hunting called Kiss My Cupcake, which is one of my favorite things that I've ever heard, and is definitely a thing that I will maybe use the next time I'm among family members and can't say other words. Kiss My Cupcake. Kiss My Cupcake is an amazing, amazing story that does involve quite a few cupcakes and quite a bit of scrumptious cupcakes. The female lead in this book, her name is Claire, and she is finally living her dream, living her best life, and opening up a cupcake shop. But not just any cupcake shop, a cupcake bar. That's right, it's a bar and cupcake place called Cupcakes and Booze, and I love it, and I wish there was one right down the street. However, on her opening day, the bar next door that she thought was shuttered, turns out they're just doing renovations, and it is being reopened by the male lead named Ronan. And listen, they do not get started off on the right foot. It's like not even the wrong foot. It is anger, it is dog do, it is practical jokes that Ronan might think are funny, but Blair definitely doesn't. And needless to say, rivalry ensues. Enemies to lovers might be my favorite trope of all time in romance. I really, really like it. And this one is quite good and quite close to my heart because I grew up in a family business, and this one deals with Ronan and Blair at each other's throats until they realize that there's going to be this huge chain bar coming in right across the street from where they have their places, and they need to work together to create dual events and dual promotions to keep people coming to their bars as opposed to the bar across the street. If you're going for something about this that wasn't super great, you know, it's a thing that romance characters have quirky families. Blair's family might be over the top quirky. There is a lot going on from her parents, her aunts, her uncles, her sister, her cousin. Like there's just a lot of things happening. And I mean, there's like, quirky, and then there's, Although, to be fair, truth is often stranger than fiction, so maybe that's not a big deal for you, but I definitely read those parts because Blair's family is a huge part of her story. They have money and they own restaurant chains, so they really want to give Blair money, but they want her to be part of the family business with their restaurants and everything, whereas Blair prefers cupcakes to steak. Good job, Blair. So, they're a big part of her story and why she's struggling to strike out on her own, but their whole shenanigan is weird. Ronan's story is much more simple. His grandfather used to run the bar. It's where he met his grandmother. Ronan's parents died tragically, and now Ronan is reopening the bar to give his grandfather some closure since his grandmother has died recently, and also to try to get his own life back on track after the tragic death of his parents quite some time ago. So that's like more typical of a male lead, but yeah, Blair's family was a lot. And it's like that suspension of disbelief thing. Not that you go into romance novels for like reality, but it was a lot. My best and least favorite part of this book are all boiled into one thing. So if you are a reader of romance novels, you know there's that thing that happens about 75% of the way through the book, and there has to be some kind of contrived conflict. This is oftentimes where really, really good books can break down because the conflict that is created is just so ridiculous or so out of character, or it's just so dumb. Like, why didn't you just tell him previously, or why didn't you tell her, or you know, it just can be really, really dumb. And oftentimes when I'm reading romance novels, I'm like, okay, we'll just get through this and then we'll get to the end, because I really like instead watching the romance build. So when you get to that part of this book, and this is not spoilers, I promise, When you get to that point of this book, things start to go, they have been, I mean, not evenly between the two points of view, but Ronan's point of view disappears almost entirely, and it's basically just from Blair's point of view. And I'm like, oh God, no, I can see it coming. Like, here it is. This is gonna be something. She's gonna take Ron, you know, you see it coming from a mile away. The best part about this book is the way that it handles that part. Even though it does feel a little bit author contrived because Ronan's point of view has gone away, it does not do what a romance novel typically does. The conflict it creates is natural. It feels really just like a part of a building romance. And while I'm not going to tell you what it is, I remember getting like over to like 80%, 90% being like, oh, wait, that was it? That was it? It's just them having growing pains? A real relationship growing? Yes! So I really, really enjoy what this book does for character development. It really just says this is the problem with a relationship, or this is the good things about a relationship. And you know, you don't trust someone this soon into a relationship, and it can be hard when your livelihood is tied up in something that this other person is doing, and family ties and all that jazz. So if you are looking for a book that will just give you a relationship going through its life cycle and going through its beginnings in a way that is natural and real and funny and cute, this book is absolutely for you. Not perfect by any means, but it was perfect for what I needed at the time when I read it. So I gave this book, technically it's 5 stars on Goodreads, but really it's 4.5. Someday Goodreads will give us points, decimal points, not points. You know what I mean. Someday, Goodreads, maybe. I've also started using something called StoryGraph, which not only gives you like 0.5, but it also gives you 0.25, 0.5, and 0.75, which I love. Lets me be much more nuanced in my ratings, but for this one, it is a 4.5 in my head and a 5-star on Goodreads, just because, again, sometimes that 75% of the way conflict thing just causes so much unnecessary stress, and that is not what happens in this book. So Kiss My Cupcake is as sweet and delectable as it sounds. I have read other books by Helena Hunting like Meet Cute, and I do recommend those as well. So if you're looking for an author with other books that are out that you could read and enjoy, I do recommend Helena Hunting in general. But Kiss My Cupcake is, I think, much better than Meet Cute. So maybe you've read that one and were wondering about Kiss My Cupcake. Well, now you know. So enjoy. I'm really sad that I don't have cupcakes that I can eat now, but this one is well worth the non-existent calories that you will get while reading it. So I hope that you enjoy it and have some fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!